Hi, it's Rebecca Sullivan from Lewisville Family Counseling. We're here to read Chapter 46 of Just One Thing, Developing a Buddha Brain One Simple Practice at a Time by Dr. Hanson. Chapter 46 is called Relax Anxiety About Imperfection. And I don't know about you, but this is one of the biggest anxieties I've had most of my life. The struggle, striving to be perfect, and knowing that that is never a possibility. So let's see what Dr. Hanson has to say about this one. Imperfections are all around, and they include messes, dirty clothes, weeds, snarled traffic, rain during a picnic, wine stains on carpet, injury, illness, disability, pain, problems, issues, obstructions, losses, including those with others, objects that are chipped, frayed, broken, mistakes, errors, confusion, lack of clarity, war, famine, poverty, oppression, and injustice. And these are obviously just to name a few. In a nutshell, an imperfection, as I mean it here, is a departure from a reasonable ideal or standard. For example, the dog poops on your shoe is not ideal, nor is the hunger that affects 1 in 6 people worldwide. These departures from ideals have cost, and it's reasonable to do what you can about them. But usually we don't leave it at that. We get anxious, uneasy, nervous, troubled, stressed about imperfection itself, rather than recognizing it as a normal, unavoidable, and widespread aspect of life. Instead of dealing with conditions as they are, weeds, injuries, conflict with others, and just handling them, we get caught up in worrying about what they mean, grumbling, feeling defeated, becoming opinionated and judgmental, blaming ourselves and others, and feeling, woe is me, yet again disappointed, mistreated, and wronged. These reactions to imperfection are major second darts, as described in the previous chapter. They make you feel a lot worse than you need to, create issues with others, and make it harder to take skillful action. Here's the alternative. Let the broken cup be broken cup without adding judgment, resistance, blaming, or worry to it. So how can we do this? How can we relax our anxiety about imperfections? Make appropriate efforts to improve things, but realize the impossibility of perfecting anything. Even the most sophisticated technology cannot produce a perfectly flat table. You just can't have a perfect personality, thoughts, or behaviors. Trying to do so is like trying to polish Jell-O. Nor can you perfect others or the world. Open to this fact, you cannot perfectly protect your loved ones, or eliminate all of your own health risks, or prevent people from doing stupid things. At first, this opening could feel poignant or sad, but then you'll likely feel a breath of fresh air, freedom, and a surge of energy to do things you can now that you're not undermined by the hopelessness of making anything perfect. We need standards and ideals, from the strike zone in baseball to the aspirations in the world's sacred teachings. But we also need to hold these things lightly. Otherwise, they'll take on a life of their own in your mind, like petty tyrants barking orders. You must do this. It's bad to do that. Watch out for righteousness, for self-important moralizing. We're going to try that one again, because I am going to avoid the urge to re-record this for a need of perfection. Watch out for righteousness, for self-important moralizing insistence on your own view of how you, others, and the world should operate. Know if you have tendencies toward perfectionism. I do, and I've got to be careful about them, or I become a difficult person to live with or work for, as well as unhappy on the inside. Further, many things transcend fixed standards. For example, could there ever be such a thing as a perfect rose or a perfect child? In these cases, anxieties about imperfection are absurd, which applies to trying to perfect your body, career, relationship, family, business, or spiritual practice. Nurture these, help them to blossom, but give up on perfecting them. Most fundamentally, all conditions, no matter how imperfect, are perfectly what they are. The bed is perfectly unmade. The milk is perfectly spilt. I don't mean morally or pragmatically perfect, as if it would be just perfect to tear a shirt or to start a war, but that all conditions are utterly, thoroughly themselves. In this sense, whatever is the case, from dirty diapers and everyday hassles to cancer and plane crashes, is the result, in this instance, of the perfect unfolding of the entire universe. Try to see that unfolding as a vast, objective process in which our personal wishes are as consequential for it as a patch of foam is for the Pacific Ocean. In this light, perfection and imperfection vanish as meaningful distinctions. There are only things in their own right, in and of themselves, without our labels of good or bad, beautiful or ugly, perfect or not. Then there is no anxiety about imperfection. There's only simplicity, directness, engagement, and peace. So let's try to give up that idea of perfectionism. Allow yourself to make mistakes. You may have seen in these videos, the more I go along, if I mess up, I try to just giggle and go on about my business. And that's just a small thing. But you're going to have imperfections in other things, and it's okay. I had an art teacher one time when I was in middle school. Somebody splattered paint on my drawing, and I was really frustrated. And he said, "It's not messed up. You're just going in a different direction." So try to take that this week. Whenever you do something and it feels like, that's not what I wanted, you haven't messed up. You're just coming up with a different direction. Have a good week, guys.